What's up guys, it's Smitty, back with another NBA video. Today we're going to be starting a new series on the channel. We're going to be ranking the top 10 players at each position before the 2023 season starts. So in today's video we're going to be starting off with the point guards, and I'm going to be working my way up all the way to the center position. And you may be thinking, Smitty, how are you going to rank all the NBA players based by their position when most players play multiple positions? And I have to agree, in this day and age the NBA is playing positionless basketball. However, for the sake of this list, I'm going to be using Basketball Reference, and I'm going to be using the first position that they put down for each player. So for example, LeBron James, you may be able to say that he could play any single position on the floor. And I have to agree, he could play point guard, shooting guard, power forward, and even center if you needed him to, right? But on Basketball Reference, the first position that they list is small forward, so I'm going to be ranking LeBron James in the small forwards list. But as it pertains to point guards, this list was extremely difficult to make. The point guard position is probably the most talented out of any other position in the league, so it was really hard to narrow down to just 10, so I have a few honorable mentions that should be considered. First up, we have Jrue Holiday of the Milwaukee Bucks. Jrue is really hard to leave off the list because he really would have made it on any other positions list. However, on this list specifically, I couldn't quite give him the edge over others because even though he is a certified winner, he isn't able to carry an offensive load like any other player on the list. Sure, he's a great defender, but I had to leave someone out, and Jrue Holiday was the most underwhelming. Next up, we have Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray would have been on this list a couple years back, but due to injuries, it really is questionable how he's going to play this season. If he can impact winning basketball on Denver this season, I would definitely put him on next year's list. But right now, it is really uncertain to see if he'll be the same old Jamal Murray that we know him to be. Next up, we have LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has the talent just like any other player on the list. However, he is just a little bit too inexperienced in the NBA. Although I do think that LaMelo Ball will crack the top 10 soon, and maybe even the top 5 later on in his career, but right now he's just shy of the top 10. Starting off our list, at number 10, we have Dejounte Murray. Dejounte is the best defender in the top 10, hands down. There is no denying his athleticism and defensive prowess. It's what landed him his first All-Star appearance last season. I think it will be interesting seeing him paired alongside a great shooter like Trey, as the two will cancel each other's weaknesses out. If Dejounte can improve his jumper a little bit more, he'll be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. Coming in at number 9, we have De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron is a hard player to rank because of his current situation. It's clear that he is a talented player and could one day be the best point guard in the league, but his lack of opportunity in Sacramento has tainted his career. It's hard to say whether De'Aaron could impact winning basketball. Sure, he's talented, but does his game really fit the mold of the NBA? He shoots under 30% from 3 and is extremely ball dominant. It's hard to imagine De'Aaron as a second or third option, yet he has shown he cannot be a first option on a playoff team. Next up, at number 8, we have Fred VanVleet on the Toronto Raptors. Some may say that Fred doesn't deserve his number 8 spot, and I gotta say, it's a very close call. But the thing that puts Fred over other guys like De'Aaron, Dejounte, and LaMelo is his impact on winning. Sure, he has a better supporting cast than those other guys, but he has shown his clutch ability on multiple occasions in the playoffs, most notably when he held Steph Curry to 34% from 3 in the 2019 NBA Finals. Next up, at number 7, we have Damian Lillard of the Portland Trail Blazers. Dame is a top 5 guard in the league, but his lack of availability due to injuries will set him back this season. If Dame can play at least 60 games next season at his usual level, I will place him higher, but for now, it is really uncertain if he'll return to his former self. At number 6, I got Chris Paul. CP3 is either criminally overrated or underrated, so I think number 6 is a great spot to place him. Sure, he has a huge impact on winning culture. However, he is still nowhere near an MVP candidate like some say he is. His weaknesses have become apparent the last couple of playoff runs with Phoenix. Sure, he's efficient on offense, but he can't guard a single player in the NBA. Many other players have been on the record saying that CP3 is the worst defender in the league, which really says a lot about his game. At number 5, I got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is a top 3 guard in the NBA, but his lack of commitment to basketball is what holds him back. There is no way he could be placed any higher if you can't even count on him to play games when healthy. However, I still have to admit he is an extremely talented player, and I could definitely see Brooklyn making a deep playoff run next season with him and KD. Next up, at number 4, I have Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja averaged 27, 10, and 8 in the playoffs this season, and Ja has also shown his leadership capability since he built up a winning culture in Memphis. These are the two main reasons why I have Ja over other players like Kyrie Irving. Sure, Kyrie is definitely a more talented player than Ja is at this moment. However, these things really put Ja over the edge because it shows his extreme commitment to the game of basketball. However, what's holding Ja back from the top 3 is his inconsistencies as a player. Sometimes Memphis has actually done better without him, and I think this is a little bit of a concern when you're talking about a top 3 point guard in the NBA. I definitely think that Ja could one day be the face of point guards in the NBA, but for now, I have him at number 4. At number 3, I have Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, Trae had an abysmal performance this postseason against the Heat. However, I think the addition of DeJounte Murray will help offload both of Trae's weaknesses that we saw in this playoff series. First of all, Trae's defense is not up to par with other guards in the NBA, and DeJounte Murray, like I said earlier, is one of the best defending guards in the league. This will definitely help spread the balance on defense, and also, I think DeJounte will help on offense by offloading some of Trae's ball handling. Because Trae has been overworked so much on offense for Atlanta. Having a secondary ball handler on the team will definitely bring down his turnovers and get him better shot selections that will in turn raise up his shooting percentages. I think that Atlanta is going to be a pretty dangerous team next season, and I think that Trae will continue to rise on this list in the future, but for now I have him at number 3. At number 2, I have Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka is probably the best young talent in the NBA. He averaged 32, 9, and 6 against Golden State in the Western Conference Finals this postseason. He's also shown in the past that he can lead a team deep in the playoffs. He beat that stacked Clippers team pretty much all by himself, and now that he's finally getting help on the team with the addition of Christian Wood, I think the Mavs could make a run to the finals next season. It's going to be really exciting seeing Luka paired with some actual decent players. It might hurt them a bit if they do not retain Jalen Brunson. However, I think Luka will be able to do most of the carrying on offense, and having a big anchor in the post like Christian Wood will definitely help them next season. Another notable achievement for Luka was he led the playoffs in points per game. If this doesn't show you that Luka is one of the best players in the league, I don't know what is. Coming in at number 1, you saw him in the thumbnail, I have Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry is coming off of his first Finals MVP of his career, and it's safe to say that this playoff run solidified Steph as a Hall of Famer and one of the best of all time. He averaged 31 points per game in the finals on 44% from 3. He was the leading scorer in 5 out of the 6 games. Steph was arguably the best player in all of the playoffs this season, and throughout his career, Steph has had the best off-ball movement of anybody we've ever seen. And this is what makes his teammates better on offense, and in my opinion, has been the main contributor to his success in the playoffs. Some games it seemed like Steph was the only player going, and even in games when Steph wasn't playing good, because of the gravity he has on offense and his off-ball movement, is able to make other guys like Klay Thompson and especially Andrew Wiggins big in the clutch. Steph has also improved his defense a lot when he was injured. It's pretty noticeable the muscle mass he gained, and I think this also helped Golden State's playoff run because that was probably his biggest weakness in the past. Overall, I think there's no denying that Steph is the best point guard in the NBA. So that concludes our top 10 NBA point guards of 2023. Let me know in the comments what you think of this list. Are there any players that you would rearrange, or any players I left off of the honorable mentions that you would put in this list? I love to see your guys' opinion. and I definitely take them into consideration with my next list. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Smitty, signing off.